Okay, am I on YouTube? I think I'm on YouTube. It's JLJ this morning. That's right, kidlets. It's JLJ this morning. Let me set up the chat room, make sure people came in yesterday. Hello, everybody. It's Christmas Eve morning. It sure is if you celebrate that kind of thing. Good morning. Let's see why he comes on. Set that up. Right now, here's what James Lott Jr. is doing, because I do 10 things at once. So I'm working on 2 songs with my producer, so waiting to hear back from him. I just finished doing another show that I'm going to put out later today. Right now, it's rendering or whatever. And I'm doing this right here, and I'm getting ready for Christmas all at the same time. And I have my coffee, my big ass mug. So I'm doing all of that as we sit here. I got laundry to do. I got a chair of laundry, basically folded over here. Phone calls to make, shit to do. I'm here talking with you guys. I felt like it. We had a huge rainstorm, hailstorm last night. So being an entrepreneur and this time period, you never know what your life could be like. I went to bed around 4 o'clock yesterday in the afternoon. Meaning I got in bed, was watching TV, and I ordered some pizza, ate some pizza or whatever. And I literally stayed there until this morning. I haven't done that in months. Not months. I'm always at this desk right here. I'm always here. Always here. Hi, Kenneth Clark. Oh my God, wow. Merry Christmas to you too. So Kenneth Clark, let me ask you a question. When did you discover me? Was it AfterBuzz? It was AfterBuzz, right? And was it from the beginning? Was it from, I got on in 2015 Edition Days. Did you know me from General Hospital? Like, well, I'm just kind of, your name has been around forever. When did you find James Lott Jr.? Play some chapstick. But yeah, as an entrepreneur, you do all kinds of stuff. And so I just literally was like, I say, yesterday I did the and just that after show, and just like that after show, put that out. A couple other things. Today, the Kringles, our new episode comes out today, so I gotta post that everywhere. It's out now. Another show I just finished. I just finished. I'm putting that out today too. I put that out a little later. And that's done. So I'm doing 10 things at once. And I'm finishing that. That's done. Okay. I'll do nothing afterwards. And so I did a few things, but I just stayed in bed. Films 55555555555. I just asked Kenneth Clark how he discovered me. I want to see what he answered. Like, how long has he been following James Lott Jr.? Because to this whole universe, I started in 2015. That's 7 years. That's 7 years ago, you guys. In February, it'll be 7 years I was doing the soap stuff. AfterBuzz and Candace told me about you. We love soaps. Oh, okay. So you knew Candace. All roads lead to Candace. That's right. Candace Mack. I think all roads lead to James Lott Jr., but all roads lead to Candace Mack. I swear to God. That girl is not even from Hollywood. She know a lot of folks. I thought I knew a lot of folks. She know a lot of folks. That's so funny. Say from Candace. Because I know Candace from the beginning. Candace discovered us at AfterBuzz. AfterBuzz TV. Yes, in 2 months, it'll be 7 years. I started this whole soap journey that I had no idea was going to start. Not at all. No, that was not in my plans. I like soap operas, obviously. I love them. I watched them. I DVR'd and taped them. I TiVo'd them. All those things you can think of. I never thought, and this is so funny. I never talked about this before, actually. I said I love talking to you guys. I just tell you all kind of stuff. I never talk this. I never thought in a million years that I'd be talking about soaps for a living. Never thought I'd make money on soaps. I never thought I would know soap opera stars. I mean, I knew a few here and there, but I never thought I'd be friends with some of them, like actual friends. I've been to their homes. I know their family. Like, I never thought in a million years. Some of my throat's a little scratchy, so it's starting to come back. Question for you. Who would you like to see come back to daytime? There's too many people. Too many people to be mad. I couldn't even begin to tell you who I would love to have come back. There's just too many people. There's so many folks I'd love to come back. I know some of them don't want to come back. They're busy doing other stuff. There are others that just don't act anymore. One person I'd love to have come back, I just think, and she's retired, would be the beautiful Renee Jones, who played Lexi on Days of Our Lives. The Black Demira. I'd love to have her come back, but she's not come back. She didn't get come back for Abe's 40th thing. So she ain't come back. I mean, I like Paulina and all. I like Jack Hay as the next person. Oh, 1 second. Candace just did something. Oh my God. That's so funny. Okay, 1 second. Candace sent me something I'm going to tell you. Talking about you right now, live. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, so Cassie, love Renee. Yeah, yes, she was beautiful. She was good. It's a lot there. She just, yeah. Yes. So yeah, I think her for sure. Yeah, I know you love you some Amanda Russ. I know you do. I know you do. You love you some Amanda. You love some Amanda Russ. That's right. Kenneth Clark and Tammy Govea. Yeah, I just never thought in a million years. I just never thought in a million years that I would have PR people working with Bold and the Beautiful and Y&R. As I reflect on the year too, I just never thought. I just never thought. I never thought I was gonna be a TV host. So imagine that. I didn't think I was doing this. YouTube. I was barely on 7 years ago. I was barely on YouTube. I didn't know what YouTube was. Like I knew it, but I really wasn't even in it. I never even knew what social media really was. I mean, I was kind of. People forget I'm much older than a lot of people are, and I just wasn't into it. My group wasn't into it. We weren't into it. I was on Twitter. I joined things when they start. So I joined Twitter, Facebook, Instagram each time when they start. But I was like, yeah, I'm really into it. You know what I mean? I was like, I wasn't really into it. But I literally got to AfterBuzz and they pushed Twitter saying we always go on Twitter, we always go up there. And I had like 10,000 followers and then I got hacked. I started over. And now I'm like, I think I'm one away from 2,000. It's taking forever to grow. And then I joined Instagram. But Instagram, I didn't know what to do. I was like, what are we doing on Instagram? It's pictures. And I was like, I don't really post like pictures. If you notice, I don't do a lot of selfies. I do some, usually my mugs and stuff, but I don't do a lot of selfies. So I was like, I don't really do that. Facebook was the one I was on a lot. I create pages for my shows and all that. You know, what my favorite storyline is take two, folks. My favorite soap storyline was GH's Diana Taylor murder. Do you remember that storyline? I do. What is your favorite soap storyline? You guys ask me questions. I'm like, there's 10,000 of them, million of them. I loved. Okay, I'm trying to answer your question. So I love the questions. I love the questions. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna say. Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. I'll go back in time and we'll say that one of the storylines I loved was on Santa Barbara. I don't know if you guys watched Santa Barbara. It was one of my favorite soaps of all time. And one of my favorite storylines was the return of Pamela Capwell. And there's a scene you can find on YouTube. There's a scene between Pamela and Sophia about Mason that is classic, legendary soap status. Another storyline that I loved. So let me see. I'm trying to go through. Maybe I'll just go through the actual soaps. I'll go through the soap storylines. I used to love As the World Turns and Guiding Light. There were so many storylines in there I loved on those shows. God, I'm still trying to think about the storylines I loved. General Hospital, I was Luke and Laura fan. I loved all that stuff. I loved all. I was a teenager. I watched all the Left-Handed Boy and Ice Princess. I loved all that. They're on the run. The BJ dying storyline. BJ Hart was heartbreaking. I don't know, that's crazy. I'm trying to think of some other Days of Our Lives. I love the possession storyline. I love the 90s days. I love 90s days. Everything was on fire. I loved 90s days. I think anything with Sheila, Bold and Beautiful, anything with Sheila. And I can't. It's so funny. I have to sit down with my coffee isn't kicking in yet. Another World. I liked Vicky Marley. I liked anything to do with them. They were good. Felicia, she was good. I like that stuff. Hello, Merry Christmas Eve. Kirsten Marie. I like those. On As the World Turns, I loved Lucinda. And anything to do with Lily. I mean, now I know Martha Byrne, which is crazy to me. She's super sweet. I loved Guiding Light for years. Anything with Reva, of course. She was good. I don't know. I really have to think about it. I have to really think about it. You think it'd be like an easier favorite. So I don't know if I have a favorite one. I have to really think about it. There was just the Santa Barbara one comes to mind first, just because that was one that I really enjoyed. Because they had the whole Capitol thing. It was Mason, Channing Capitol Jr. He died. There was something about having to go with him. There was the younger siblings. There was Kelly and Eden. The Lockridges. I love Santa. So one of my favorite soap operas of all time was Santa Barbara. And when I met Nancy Lee Grahn at the 2018 Emmys, I said, "Congratulations with GH. I'm finally meeting you. Can I talk to you about Santa Barbara?" She was like, "Yes." I got a chance to talk to Louise Sorel about Santa Barbara. This was off camera. I had a chance to talk to Eileen Davis about Santa Barbara, Rosario about Santa Barbara. So I got a chance to talk about Santa Barbara with some of my people. I'd love to do a Santa Barbara reunion. I'd love to do a panel of Santa Barbara people. I'd love to. Our favorite soap theme. So, that's a good question. Well, the theme that, for me, that just always is a big winner is the Y&R theme. Nadia's theme, of course, Young and Restless. That's my favorite. I liked the 90s Faces of the Heart GH theme. They were very saxophony. All the stuff's been saxophony. There were several One Life to Live themes I liked. Because there was one that was sung by, I think, Johnny Mathis or somebody from that ilk that did a great job. I liked some of those. They actually sang the lyrics. I liked those themes, but also liked their last theme where it felt like they were on a subway. The music was like on a subway and it was instrumental. That one was a good one too. Well, Days of Our Lives, of course, like Sands to the Hourglass, and so are the Days of Our Lives, and that's such a iconic. It's so funny because I had a chance to talk again. I was amazed by this. I had a chance to talk to Doug and Julie Hayes about being in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And those guys are too young and don't know this, or I've never watched the movie. It was this whole thing of them being on their General Hospital. Days of Our Lives was a huge hit. And they were watching it on TV. That was a good one. And same thing with the old General Hospital theme with the sirens and going in. And my father actually worked at that General Hospital. That General Hospital is from Los Angeles. That's an actual hospital, the General Hospital in Los Angeles. And that old sirens coming, that whole that's which they've kept all these years, but just made a different alliteration of it. That it's completely this. I love that, but that was a good one too. That was a very very recognizable. Guiding Light has some good themes. Guiding Light has some good themes. Close Encounters is a great movie. That's why I love Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That whole sequence with the ship and the music and it opens up and the aliens, that whole sequence is just amazing to me. And that was 1978 or 79. Yes, Candace Mack is in here. Candace Mack just sent me a nice little gift. Thank you, Candace Mack. I appreciate it. We were talking about you earlier. I said all roads lead to Candace Mack. I think they lead to James Lott Jr. But Candace Mack, I want to ask you, because I asked Kenneth Clark already, when did you discover me? I want to know when, because I told you it's AfterBuzz TV, obviously. This whole thing is AfterBuzz TV, but when did you remember when you first ran across James Lott Jr.? I don't think I've ever asked you that question. But Close Encounters is the bomb. Close Encounters is so, oh my God, it's so good. Starring somebody that I know in the film who's related to me. Let's leave it like that. One day I'll tell a story about that in my things. One of the lead actors is related to me, so I'll tell you that later. I'll tell a story on that. But yeah. So a lot of themes are good. I liked Another World had a theme I liked. As the World Tourist theme wasn't anything super special. It wasn't anything special. Bold and the Beautiful was good. They had some good themes. They had one that was really good. They used for a long time before they went back to the original. So Bold Breakdowns, you discovered me, actually? I don't think I've ever asked you that, Candace. I don't think I ever knew that. So it's Bold Breakdown. Okay, I'm actually shocked. I don't even know what to say. I thought it could have been General Hospital Days. I did not know that. I cannot confirm nor deny what I know, because I will never give my sources up or anything if I know something or don't know something, because I want to keep my relations and keep my contacts intact. I may know things, I may not. So sorry, Kenneth Clark, I'm not confirming nothing or anything. Who knows? Sometimes I don't know anything. I mean, seriously, in some cases, people go, "You used to know this," and I'm like, "No, I really didn't know that was going to happen." That completely is. But yeah, Sean Kane, I have a big friendship. We're very close. We're very close friends. I'm close friends with Michelle Stafford. I'm close friends with certain people. But not saying that they come to me personally to tell me everything. But I was like, I may not, who knows? But I will never give up my sources, because that's not what I do. That's not what I do. I can keep a secret like nobody's business if I'm told one. Let's say it that way. If I'm told one, I know how to keep a secret. Because that's what you do. Confidences. It doesn't confidence. But I'll tell you, yeah, I know you asked. I was like, yeah, I know you asked. I'm like, no, I'm not saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing. But there are cases when people think I do know something, and I'm like, no, I didn't know that. Like, there's like something, like everybody calls me and goes, James, what's going on? They don't call me that. But I know some people know I have actual friendships with people. And so I know people just assume. So I let people assume what they want. But as long as I don't give anything away before it's really given away, then I'm good. And I'm good, folks. I don't do that. So yes, you go ahead, Kenneth Clark, be shady like that. Shady Friday, shady Christmas Eve morning. Yeah, yes. But Bold Breakdown, that I did not, Candace Mack, I never knew that. That is completely in shock. So yeah, 52, almost 53 years old, I learned something new every day. I had no idea. Hey, Daisy Flower. And Bold Breakdown was my show on AfterBuzz TV. You didn't know that. That's now morphed into the Bold Beautiful Me Spotlight. I mean, a lot of those shows are turning 6, 7 years old next year, because that's how long I've been doing them. Been doing them. I can't believe this. I never thought in a million years, hi Deborah, that I would ever be doing this. I never thought I'd be talking to you. I never thought I'd have a JLJ this morning. I never thought I'd be talking to you. I never thought I'd have a network. I was a radio guy. I had a radio show on the radio. That's what I was doing. On the radio. On the radio. No, I'm done to you. I'm not done in summer. But no, I never thought in a million years. I thought radio was the thing I was going to do. I was going to build my radio career. I had a show that was becoming a hit. I was so happy. And then, because I was dating someone, his best friend we have this show we're starting with my friend Tony Moore and Mark J. Freeman. It's called Days of Our Lives After Show. I'm like, what's an after show? I had no idea what an after show was. I was like, what was an after show? Like an after show, we're going to talk about the show. Like, we're just going to sit around and talk about the show. Like, oh, okay. You should come on sometime. Come on. I'm like, come on, do what? I'm like, do it. Well, it's host. I'm like, I've never TV hosted before. Like, oh, it'll be fine. Let's call you, just come on in. You'll come in and just be a guest. Okay, so I thought I'd come on with the three hosts. I'd be like a guest and kind of, because I just come in and do that. The show starts, and literally a week later, like, Jason, you come on this Sunday and guest host. But as you guys know, I'm very fearless. I just said yes. I didn't know where AfterBuzz was. I know what it was. They're like, it's a house in the valley. A house in the valley? Is this porn? Like, what's going on here? A house in the valley. So I get out there, and literally you can't see inside. It was a literal house. AfterBuzz had turned the house into studios. It's very cool. I missed that house. And then sorry, I'll stop for a second because Candace is giving me some dish that I did not know. She knew Tony first. Oh, and then Abby, and Lucretia, then Tammy. So Abby is, and this was funny. So Lucretia is my find, Tammy is Tony's find, and Abby is Lucretia's find. I just talked to Abby the other day, actually. That's what's so funny because I created the soap block at AfterBuzz TV. A lot of people didn't know that. They thought it was Tony, or they're like, no, I created. Tony did the first one, which was Dishes and Days. Then I created the other three. That was me, bitches. I created the other three. Beep, beep. And I see things like, I see your questions. I will answer them. I just want to get this part out as I see them. I'm in a Christmas spirit. Hello. You see I'm in a Christmas spirit. Nutcrackers and shit. I'm in a Christmas spirit. My hope ornament that I've had for 30 years. Days of our lives. But no, I found Lucretia. Lucretia knew about AfterBuzz. I wanted to do a JH podcast, and they said no, way before me. And when I found her, she told me that. I was like, oh my gosh, it's perfect. So then we started together. She was like my right-hand girl. So, and then we started Y&R. I put her in charge. I said, okay, you'll run Y&R. She found people. She found two people for that. I don't know if you remember that. Well, maybe you didn't know, Candace. You didn't know because you got Abby. So she found two people who were horrible. They both were just bitches. They were horrible. Got rid of them, and she found Abby. And Abby was good. We loved Abby and her mama June. We love Abby. I love Abby, and I still talk to her. Yeah, because I thought, okay, there you go. Yeah, okay, because you called the show Abby Pink Color. Yes, because for a while it was just Abby, and then it's the whole thing. Yeah, it's the whole thing. Oh my God, it's so fun. I never knew this. I never knew this. It's funny. I come on this morning and I get a Christmas miracle. Let's see what's going on here. Sorry. So I'm getting emails at the same time. James is still working, kind of. He's taking care of business at the same time while he's here live on TV. You know, I mean, I'm always doing 20 things at once. Okay. Okay. But yes. Okay. So there's some questions. I'll get some of these questions because these are some good ones. From Hi, Judy D. See, all these names, I recognize all you guys. Judy D, I'm going to ask you the same question. When did you discover James Lott Jr.? I'm sure it's AfterBuzz, right? Can you tell me? I'm learning all this new stuff. Like, when did you discover me? Okay. Christmas Spirit, I answered that question. Disney Days is good right now. I'm a huge fan of Bold right now, too. I love Bold right now. What advice would you give to someone interested in starting a podcast with a friend? Do it. That's my advice. Everybody has a podcast, just fucking do it. Here's the thing. Make sure, to be even more specific, make sure your podcast has a viewpoint. Like, what is it? Is it two friends just chit-chatting? Is it you have two different points, different sides? Is it verses? What's the show about? And can you sustain it for a long time? Can the show go on every week or every month or however you want to do it? I'm going to ask Deborah too. Sorry, Deborah. I'm going to ask you AfterBuzz. So Deborah, AfterBuzz, which show did you find me on? I was everywhere. I was everywhere on AfterBuzz TV. But just start it. Figure out its identity. That's the thing. Figure out its identity. What is the identity of your show? And Candace can speak to this too. What is your identity? can it go, so can it sustain every week or every month, how many frequently you want to do it? Keep doing it. And then just do it. Literally just do it. Put it together and do it. For me, it's not that people think it's easy because it looks easy, but it's one of those things where it isn't. I feel like the better the podcast usually is, the better the production, meaning how you produce this thing. But yeah, anyway, everybody can do a podcast. You can do it. Okay. Yeah, Mama G, we love her. Candace, Kirsten, and James. They're not my co-host. It's James Lott Jr.'s JLJ this morning. It's not Candace, Kirsten, and James Lott Jr. this morning live. What was your best storyline of 2021? Mine is Sheila returning the ball. I don't even think about that. I mean, I got to think of my best storyline of the year. Oh my God, I guess that's what he's quite like. Oh, I don't know. I actually going to say Bold to me. Everybody returning was good. Was good. But also, here's the thing. To me, Bold I almost say Bold was my favorite soap of the year. That might cause controversy, whatever. I feel like they took bold choices. I feel like from the mannequin storyline and everything, I just feel like it's real. I think they just all year kept surprising us with the Carter quarter storyline, how controversial that was. I mean, I feel like they took chances all year. They kept us going, and it was fast paced in many ways. It kept going. So I may say Bold is my favorite soap of the year. Okay, Candace says, here's a piece of advice. Don't think of it as a job when you're doing a podcast. Have fun and enjoy yourself. I completely agree. You're here to entertain. That's the next thing too. You're here to entertain. There are 10,000 podcasts out there. And just make it fun. If you're having fun, then you'll know you'll have fun. My Bold podcast and Wine I've turned into Crazy Time. Since I added Amanda and Tammy, we are Crazy Talk. And YNR and Bold, the production staff loves it. The actors love it. We are Crazy Talk. I love doing those shows. We have a good time. Me and Frank, it's old school. Frank and I have been doing this for a long time, and it's very old school. And it's my most successful soap opera on the show, on my network. So I agree with Candace. Just have fun. Can they give honorary daytime to Ken Shrine and Robin Mattson and Kimberly Brown? I know, right? These are there are a lot of folks who don't have Emmys. A lot of them. I don't have an Emmy. So Daisy Flower, you found us through AfterBuzz. Okay, so Daisy Flower, which show? Tell me which show you found me on. Judy. Oh, Judy just found us this year. Oh, wow. I didn't know that, but that's great. I'm welcome to JLJ Media. You had no idea who I was before that. But I like that. You're newer. Deborah, we interviewed Cameron in the studio. Lucretia was Mike L. Yeah, that's a long while. Debbie, you found a long time. Then yes, we interviewed Cameron Grimes like 5 years ago at the studio. That's true. I love Cameron. Yeah, we did. That's something else. So you've been for a long time. Well, now Daisy Flower, you and I a lot of times don't agree. On all you said we don't agree. We get into it on the show, but I do appreciate you watching and tuning in and commenting. I do. I mean, I don't care. People disagree with me all the time. I don't give a shit. It's funny to me, but I know that you and I we rarely agree on stuff. But that's all we do. I know your name, but a lot of times we don't. But that's just how it is. And it's fine. It's all friendly for me. I mean, it's all fun and games for me. It's all shits and giggles for me. So films 555 AfterBuzz. So which one did you first see this handsome face, James Lott Jr.? I was less grayer back then, probably, and had different hair. Now I had no hair. This is my hair today. It's long, isn't it? That's why I have a hat on this morning. But Judy, I like that Judy found us this year. That's great because a lot of folks, this thing, AfterBuzz quietly went out of business. So they kind of didn't tell anybody. So we had to tell people where we were. And a lot of folks still looking to AfterBuzz because there's a presence online, but they're still but where's the shows? And I was like, we're here. So we're finding people to come over here. What is your main goal for 2022? What are you passionate about? I'm passionate about everything. How do you know this? Everything. My main goal is to produce a musical. My main goal is to have a music. I've written it already. I've written it. I want to produce a musical. There we go. But my other goals are just continuing JLJ Media into its third year. Continuing to I have all these audio dramas that I have a ton in production. They'll be coming out next year. Books, new music. I mean, I have all these divisions of JLJ Media, so I don't have my main goal is to continue what I'm doing. I mean, I have like mini goals, but my big fantasy, of course, is this musical I've been working on for like 5 years. And I'll tell you the name. The name is called "Who is Arthur Jackson and Why is His House So Messy?" And one song is already out. You go to any streaming service, you can listen to "Angela" by J2, and you'll be able to hear that song. Technically, you also had a face-to-face interview with Cameron via my phone with me my first. Yeah, it's funny because Tony was like, "Oh," because Cameron's like, "I know James Lott Jr." and he used your phone, so we talked. We actually talked because I know Cameron. I've known Cameron for years. So it was kind of funny, and that was Candace's phone. That's very true. And you met Tony. Yes, Tony gets around. Yes. So, but I have a lot. I always have goals every day. I have 2 businesses too. I want more, organizing clients. I'm creating it. So folks, if you want to get organized, it's my other life, the super organizer. I have pages on Facebook. I created a live series, which I'm debuting in January. January is Go Month for organizers. And we're going to, I'm going to talk about different topics on how to get organized. For example, I'm going to do clothes for one episode, bags in another episode, shoes another episode, papers. So follow me everywhere. You'll know more about that. But I'm going to do a whole series of that. What platform will music be on? That's the question. I'm trying to figure out that. I don't know yet. I have no idea. Will it be visual? Will it just be audio? I have no idea yet. I'm the king of the audio dramas. So I almost feel like possibly doing it as an audio play, audio musical. Just do it all that way. I don't know. That's a good question, Deborah. I don't know. Everybody's gonna find out. Oh wait, Daisy, you'll find out. I don't know yet. These networks will make a killing if they released old soap episodes on streaming. Do you agree? Yes. Well, I don't think make a killing, but here's the thing. I would love, if I had the money, folks, or the backing, to start a soap net again. I love to have an app or a channel that has all the old soaps, daytime, nighttime, side time, whatever, and include new soaps that are created solely for the channel. I would do a whole soap extravaganza if I had the money. But I think, if they went on Hulu and did all the ABC soaps, on Peacock, like passionately, I don't think they would be killing, but they would be a nice audience. Here's the problem, folks. Soaps, we're kind of in our own little bubble. Because I talk to people outside of, like my friends who like wrestling. We're in our own little bubble. And a lot of us, we're into like soaps and all the soaps and all the soaps and all the soaps. But a lot of people, it wouldn't tune in that much. I think it would be just for us dedicated soap fans. There are a lot of folks who used to watch soaps, they won't watch it anymore. They just don't watch it anymore. That's why there's no demand for it. If there was this huge demand for it in the mainstream, then it would be, it isn't. The soap audience has dwindled so much. I love soaps. I love daytime community. I want it to last the rest of our lives. Soaps are American, the fabric of American television. But I'm just telling you for real, it would be a passion project, vanity project for me if I did that. Just brought them back and have people watch them. But I don't know if the viewership would be anything that significant. It'd be fun. I think it'd be a great homage to the genre to have all the soaps in one place. And just show them. There's an audience out there. There's definitely an audience out there. I don't know how big, but I mean, daytime is fun. Yes, I've been there several times. Come out of you. Yeah, the thing about you, Candace, you're not even from California. You got to come out here and like actually. Yeah, no, I mean, as I was saying, Candace, you know about this. I mean, I'm not saying anything that's out of turn. I'm not trying to shit on the soaps or anything. It's just that it's financial stuff. It's a lot. It's a lot of behind the scenes that they just don't see The executives don't view soaps the way we do. And I hate that. I really do hate that. I think it's something that's just, it's this whole, like, we're less than. They're also starting to do things out the Emmys. I have the Daytime's Emmy special here on JLJ Media where I talk about the new rules where now they're taking the digital dramas that were normally nominated during daytime and they're throwing them into primetime. So now they may not get nominated if people don't have enough nominations, points or votes for them to get even into the running. So it's gonna be, I have friends who are livid, I have friends who are happy. It's gonna be a strange thing next year when they do this to see how this works. Will Studio City, will these digital soaps actually get nominated with the primetime limited series? Yes, and and this thing, and Daisy, everything is soap opera, but they don't call it that. They call it, reoccurring drama, storyline arcs. They always have the word, but again, they take the word soap out of it, so they can actually make it seem like it's something different. And every show is a soap. The Mandalorian was a soap opera. They're all soaps. That's the problem. They just don't call it that. They're trying to erase the word, so to speak. What is your dream interview? Well, I had Kristen Alfonso. That was my dream for 38 years. Yeah, Candace, I've been talking to some people behind the scenes about that whole daytime stuff, everything. But my dream interview now, because I had one, it was Peter Bergman. Candace is going to be mad at me, but it's Peter Bergman. I got to interview him this year. So I was very happy. Here's one of my dream interviews, so I could knock that off the list. I've interviewed a lot of folks I wanted to meet. So who's left? I got to interview Kimberly Brown. That's checked off my list. My dream interviews would be, I still want to interview Linda Gray. I met her and talked to her about it. I would love to interview her. I'm a big Dallas fan. So Linda Gray, Patrick Duffy, I'd love to sit down with them. Joan Collins from Dynasty. I would love to talk to her. Tina Turner. Don't think big. These are my idols. Tina Turner. I would just not interview her. Daytime soaps. I think daytime. So if I go by daytime, she does. I know. I know. I think Candace Mack and Peter Bergman. I know. I got them last minute. Like I got them totally. They were like, James, can you? I'm like, yes. I just did it. So let's see. Daytime. God, I've interviewed so many people. I'm sure there's people I haven't seen interview yet. I have not interviewed. Let's go. Okay, let's look at this. Bold. Maurice Bernard. I would love to interview him actually. Susan Lucci and I were actually in talks to interview a couple of years ago, so that may still happen. I'd love to interview Susan Lucci. She's incredible. Or Kim Zimmer. I got to interview Martha Byrne, which was one of my favorites. I got to interview her last year. So that was my favorites. And she was oh my gosh, she was so sweet. I wanted to interview Ivor Brown, who just passed away. And Martha was going to lead that to me. I wanted to interview Christophe St. John. He passed away before I could do it. We were in talks to come on my show. I couldn't get him. Okay, so let me go. So on Days of Our Lives, I would mind interviewing, who's left? I mean, I've not talked to. I've talked to some people on that show. I think I've interviewed Drake. I've interviewed I'm not thinking about that one. On General Hospital, Maurice Bernard, I've not interviewed him. Becky Herbst, I've not interviewed her. I'd love to interview her. Kelly Tebow, I'd love to interview her as Brett. Everybody else I kind of know already. I've interviewed on that show. I've interviewed some people on that show. We might interview them. Vernee Watson, I'd love to interview her. The whole Fresh Prince connection, all that stuff. Interview her. She's a teacher and everything. She would be amazing. I've interviewed Bill. I interviewed them. I interviewed them at Day of Days. They were I have on camera them saying that I look so young for my age as a grandfather. I loved Bill and Susan A. The thing, okay, so here's the thing about them. Bill and Susan, they're one. She loves him. He loves her. You feel it in real life. They did so many interviews, but they come together and they're cheerleaders of the show. And I get to ask him about being on the cover of Time magazine. I get to ask him about Close Encounters of the Third Kind. They were so kind to me. It was amazing. I have James Reynolds is my friend. James Reynolds is my buddy. Him and his wife Lisa and I talk all the time. I've interviewed him several times. I love James Reynolds. He's an icon. He's been recognized as an icon. I wouldn't mind interviewing Jack Hay. She's somebody who's very. Oh yeah, I'm back. I can't because they're on audition days, and I don't encroach on my days buddies, my chocolate twin. I can't do that. I have to leave them alone. Jack Hay would be actually interesting. She would be very interesting in the interview. Talk about her life. Oh my God, her life. 227 and all that, and Sister and all that stuff. I mean, it would be interesting to interview her, and she'd probably be hilarious. Marta Gibbs would be interesting too. I've met Marta Gibbs a couple of times, but I've never had a chance to interview her. But her life too. The Jeffersons on up, and Marta's Memory Lane, which was big here in LA back in the day. Yeah. Okay. Young and the Restless. I've interviewed all the big ones. The only ones I've not interviewed Joshua Morrow, which I'll try to get next year. I finally got a chance to interview Christian J. LeBlanc, which that interview is coming out January 9th. It's me and him one-on-one. And we have a surprising connection. You'll find that out when you watch the show. I get to interview him, finally. Tracy Bregman, I'd love to interview her. Oh my God. I met Beth Maitland. I haven't interviewed her yet. But I've interviewed Kate Linder. I've interviewed Melissa Ordway, Melly Thomas Scott, Sharon Case. I've interviewed all of them. I mean, my buddy Eric Braden, of course, my buddy. I sat with him like 3 or 4 times. Jason Thompson, Brittany Sarpy, Bryden James. I've interviewed all those. So they're all sweet. So there's a few left, a lot of the newbies, but of the old guard. Now, folks, this is controversial. And I'll share with you guys. I did reach out to Ingo Rademacher for an interview. So we'll see. I know it's very controversial, but I want him to come on and talk about why he feels the way he feels. I'm so pressed. That's what I do. And I don't care if I get backlash or whatever. I'm here to present to you a story. I can ask him all the hard questions. I would love to talk to him. So we'll see what happens. I did put out the press room. I put out feelers to Lydia Look, who plays Selena Wu on General Hospital. She is giving me life. Love her. She's giving me life. I want her on the show. We'll work on that next year. I say next year. It was a few weeks now. Yes, a few of those. On Bold, I have not interviewed Torsten. He's the only one left of the big ones. I want Scott Clifton because I was a huge fan of Blue Mountain State. Huge fan. So I want to interview him. I was supposed to interview him. We got dates mixed up. Something happened. It wasn't on our end, or it just all got mixed up. So we didn't get him. But he's somebody I've always admired from when he was Max Brady on Days Are Alive to Blue Mountain State to this. I want to talk to him. Of course, Denise Richards. I'm in love with her. I would love to have her on my show too. Yes, you watched the thing the other day. I try. So here's a little behind the scenes. I'm getting all this tea right now. It's all this Christmas morning tea. Now that my coffee is kicking in. Yeah. I try. It's hard. So here's the deal. So when we're doing interviews, we have them for a certain amount of time. I'm the lead. I'm the producer. I'm the director. So I'm also watching the time clock. But I make it all look easy. So I'm watching the time clock. I have these things here. I have other co-hosts sometimes who need to get their time in. So it's not just all me. Also make sure I don't ask certain questions. Make sure the questions are going fine. They're flowing. And read the chat room. Try to get people's questions from the chat room. Also try to do some shout outs. It's Darren Brooks. Sorry, Darren Brooks. Thank you, Candace. That's Scott Clifton. I want Scott Clifton too. I'd love to have him on the show too. I should say that. And Jackie. I haven't had Jackie McInnes Wood yet either. Okay. Anyway, I do all of that. And I gotta look natural and engaging and entertaining. It's a lot of work. We gotta make it look like it's not a lot of work. So sometimes some people get mad because I don't get to them or get to their thing. It's like I can only do so much. It's a lot of stuff, and we understand. But I try if I can to get certain people's stuff in there. I try to get him. I try to get shout outs, special things. Especially if someone says in the chat room, she's my favorite actress. Can't get it. I try. And the actors love it. They do. They love it. They love doing those shout outs and things. I try to get a little more personal because a lot of shows, you know, here's the shade, folks, of it all. Tony Moore, myself, are the few, and maybe Alan Locker, are the few that actually have live shows where you can actually talk to the stars that come on. Casey's now doing the Bold Live, and that's happening there too. So we're probably the four. There's not all the other ones either do recordings, like Michael Freddie do recordings, they put them out, which is fine too. There's nothing more shade in that. I do a few of those. But it's so, we actually for years, we used to do phone calls, and after TV, we can call and talk to them. You know, we try to show them this is your people. You know, I have a huge General Hospital, Y&R, and Bold and Beautiful audiences who watch and listen to my shows. I'm very grateful. I mean, I'm very grateful to them, to all of you, and to them. And so I try to let the actors know this is your people. You are safe. Here's your people. Here you go. And it's sad to me sometimes when some people come in and troll. Doesn't happen very often, but I'll come in and say just the rudest stuff. And I'm not repeating it. I'm not gonna do that. And it's just like they're here. These are actors doing a job. Actors are doing a job. They're actors doing a job. And they're here to entertain you. You can not like a storyline. You not like the writing. They didn't write it. That's just Lawrence St. Victor, because he's writing on Bold and Beautiful now. But they're not writing it. They're just acting out. They're just doing their job. And so I'm not going to invite someone on my show and attack them. It's like bringing someone to your house and then instead start attacking them in your house. Like, that's not that. But some of the trolls are so mean. There's recently some mean ones to Krista Allen. And Krista Allen is my friend. So I will defend her to people because I just think they're so rude. And there are a couple people who are just really rude on there. And it's like, no, you will not get attention. We're not going to let that happen. And I'll tell you, a lot of the fans in the chat, I don't even have to say anything. They come in, they take care of business. They're like, nope. So I like that. You know, so yes. But I love bringing the stars to you. And if I can make your dream come true and have a shout out, you know, why not? Or ask your question. Why not? That's the least I can do. I mean, I'm giving you this stuff. It's like, yeah, you know, no, it's no big deal. I love it. Because I know if I was in a situation, I want somebody to give me a shout out. But again, my favorite all-time video of all time, my favorite everything of all time is Kristen Alfonso. And now she knows who I am and comments on my stuff and says things. I don't even know. I've been indebted to Tony Moore the rest of my life. He made that happen. He's been trying to make it happen for years. But I will never forget. Again, I will tell the story 10,000 times. When she walked over, it was like the sea parted. Everyone who was up there stopped. I'm not even joking. Camera people, everybody, all stopped. And they watched me. And Galen was behind her. And she walks and goes, James, finally. And I fell into her arms. I almost started crying. It was such a wonderful moment for me that she was so kind to be in on this, to kind of go, yes, I get. Because for years we talked about it. For years we kept missing each other. And I know I'm going teary-eyed for years. And it was such a beautiful, nice gesture for her to say that to me. And I was just like, it's on my page, folks. I'll repost it. It's on my page. It's a video by itself. Go to my playlist. Go to Day of Days. Chris Alpha. You'll see it's by itself. And it's not even that long. That interview, her and Galen. And Galen, I will give him. I've interviewed him before. Galen was so nice and gracious, and he was in it on it also. He was just like, this is wonderful to see this, because I mean, literally, it was 30-something years for me. A dream. I never thought a million years was a dream for me. A dream for me. And I almost started crying because I was like, it was such a great moment. It was just like it was just something that was so very nice. And Tony Moore orchestrated it. and I was grateful. And yeah, and it's from 2019 because the year before I had Bell's palsy, and I was paralyzed at home and I couldn't go. So 2019, I was better, and I got to see her, take pictures with her, and talk to her. And it was just she smelled good. It was great. So for me, the rest of my life, if I don't do anything else for the rest of my unnatural life, I'm good. I'm good. Yes, I know. People may ask me all kinds of questions, Christelle. There's certain questions I'm not going to ask. Not going to do that. I'm not going to ask certain. There's certain things I'm not going to ask about. I was like, I'm going to just stay. I got to stay professional. And and we're promoting her being the new Taylor. And if you guys saw in films, I know you were on there, you saw there are people demanding that she like put them at ease. So literally during the interview, we changed gears. And to me, it was wasting time, but she wanted to kind of talk to the fans, which that's why we're here, and talk to them about, love and compassion and acting. And I just felt like these fans were just like, they were so, Candace Mack is a star in the soap world. She's a star. But I was like, she took the time out to talk to the fans to see, what do you think? What are you thinking? What's going on? Why do you feel so upset at me? There are fans who are mad at her for taking the role. Like, you're so dumb. Hunter Tyler didn't come back. You offered the role to someone else. She said yes. That's their job. That's what she does. So I think that was just like, she took time to do that. And to me, it took time out of the questions I did want to ask her on some level. But it's a great interview. The interview's doing very well for me. People are loving the interview. I mean, it's doing very well for me on JLJ Media. But I think folks need to, but she went there. So there were a lot of, but certain questions I was not going to ask. Sorry, films 5. Not going to ask these questions. Yeah, she's doing great. I think she's doing great as Taylor. Which I knew she would. I think if I said, folks, let her air first. Before you start shitting on her, let her air. Let her air. Shit. Let her like, get started. I mean, come on, people. People just start just crapping on people before they get a chance to even do anything. I'm like, can we see like how she does first before we start giving commentary? I mean, again, you could be a Hunter Tyler fan. That's great. Hunter didn't want to come back. So what's she supposed to do? Not take the role because Hunter didn't come back. I can't take the role. This is called work. This is called a career. It's like this is business, folks. I mean, the show must go on, right? The show must go on. So some folks I know are just fans, and they're not about the business. They're fans. Some folks are fanatical, and I always call those folks, I don't care. Like, you guys are a little too fanatical. Like, you gotta look at the real picture, folks. And what. But I was glad because remember, we didn't have any soaps for a while. No new soaps for a while. In 2020, there was no soaps for like 5-6 months. Besides Days. I don't want that again. I don't want that permanently. Can you imagine it permanently? That just doesn't, that we don't get soaps forever. Oh no. I want my subs on. I want them on. Well, Krista talked about the wig. She said because it was a quick thing. She said it will get better and better. She talked about it on the show. That's the whole thing. She loves all the wig memes and everything. No, it was last minute. It was something she had to do, and they're going to fix it. She said you'll see it get better and better and better and better and better. So yes, this was quick. It was a quick thing, and hairs, work it out, and so it's But she loves the whole wig stuff. She does. She loves the whole wig stuff. The costs are part of the business. I mean, it's exactly, they're part of the business. And folks get mad. You have the right to be upset and say, I wish my person came back. But if they choose not to come back, or if the studio says that we don't want them back, that's the studio's business. You can be mad at the studio, but you can't be mad at the actor. Like, they're doing a job. And sometimes recasts are great. Some of your favorite stars. Look at it this way. If you're a One Life to Live fan, Dorian Lord and Vicki Lord Buchanan and all those names were both recasts. So just think about it that way. They didn't start the show in a character. They came on and played it the longest. Cassie DePadre was a recast, a infamous recast as Blair on Life to Live. Think about that. Just think about that. She wasn't the original. The original was Admiration. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, but she took it over and was the High Texas Ranger fan, and she did a great job. I mentioned Vicky and Marley. It was Anne Heche at one point. They became Jensen Buchanan. I mean, it's you know, Ridge is a recast. He's a recast, and people seem to like him. I mean, Ron Moss is my buddy, and he was great, but he decided to leave after 20-something years, and they recast it. Thomas is always a recast. He seemed to work for the most part. Ricks are always recast. I mean, like it's. I love J.R. Chandler when it was on All My Children, when it was Jacob Young. Loved J.R. Chandler. He saved the show to me. Now some recasts don't work, like a Bianca on All My Children. Yeah, it didn't work. Yeah, they're all recasts. That's what's like. Peter Bergman. Yeah, Peter Bergman. Jack Abbott's a recast. Wait, hello. Jess Walton's a famous recast. Hello. The Kindle recast was great. I know exactly. There's some recasts, they work out. You know, Kristen DeMira is a recast. They use both of them. Carly's a recast several times over. And I love the episode where they had Maurice Bernard talk to each Carly. I love that. That one episode was all about that. All each Carly came on. I'm saying that's just the thing. It's like, just give them a chance. If they're horrible, then you can say, okay, they're horrible. Which, like I said, some are. The third Carly. The second Belle. Belle and Days of Our Lives recast. Maxie recast. I mean, I guess it's one of those things that you just have to kind of go, okay, I understand you like this actress. I understand you like the performance. But if they don't come back or something happens, that's just that. You know, nobody stays forever. That's also, I know where you sit in the theater, and in some films, the Batmans are always recast. Of course, Spider-Man, I won't give any spoilers, but there are several Spider-Menses. You know, there's several Supermenses, not just one. Like 10,000 Superman shows, and you get Superman, and you get Superman, and you get Superman. You know, that's just how it works. So I just always say, everybody, see what happens, and then if you don't feel like they're good, then that's your business. Then that's fine. But let's see what happens first. This is a business, folks. And to me, I'm like, as long as the soaps are on air, do what you gotta do. Do what you got to do. Now, I will, because this is Christmas morning, I will speak out a little bit on something that I do agree with. So I knew I wasn't up in arms at first, but then I seen, I go, that is kind of weird. The General Hospital holiday promo. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about if you watch General Hospital. They released it, and there were no Black people in it. There were no Asian people in it. There were no trans people. There was nobody in the cast that's other than white was in it. I didn't notice that first. I'm so conditioned, I didn't even notice it at first. I was just like, oh, I guess a promo for General Hospital saying good Merry Christmas. Rumor was they did it on a day, everybody was there, people were there. Now, of course, you know, you could, because it wasn't, they were all together. So you could insert videos. I do it for a living. I know how to do that. You could literally insert a video and of Donnell Turner or Renee Watson or whatever. To me, there's a way to, I mean, that was, but see, here you go, folks. I'm Black, clearly. Even though my ancestry DNA says I'm half white. That's another story. I am mixed race. But I'm Black. And so usually I'm so used to not seeing diversity. Let me tell you the truth. It's that almost my eyes are almost so, like, the world is so non-diverse most of the time that you kind of get used to. So when you see it, you're excited, of course. You notice it. But sometimes it washes over you because you're so used to not seeing it, right? I said, I didn't catch it at first. I was just like, I didn't even catch it at first. But you soap fans will catch everything. And then once you caught it, brought to my attention, I'm like, well, that is kind of like effed up. It's a simple thing, but here's the thing. The folks in charge, why would they think about it? Why did they even think about it? Why would even they be in their brains? And that's the problem. We have to make diversity just normalized. That's all it is. Well, I mean, okay, Maurice Bernard is, I want to say isn't he like Italian and something Hispanic possibly, but he looks white for the most part. He looks like a dark white person. You really think about it, in my opinion. He's not that brown. So I mean, so can we count Maurice? We have one. Okay, one. Now we've tokenized him. So now he's a token. But that's not even the point. There's nobody else. They have Asia. Where's Perry Shin? Where's Selena Wu? Where's Donnell Turner? Vernee Watson? Where's Cassandra James who plays Terry? Where are these other people? I guess that's the point, right? But here's the thing: no one thinks about it because we need to make it normalized. We need to make it normalized, just where everybody just thinks about it, and it's not even like a big deal. You just know you guys are all part of the cast. We need the whole cast in there. So, but I'll look it up. I'm gonna look up Maurice Bernard. Let's see. This is live television, folks. Bernard. Okay, Maurice Bernard. Let's see. His wife and kids. It says he is of Salvadorian and Nicaraguan descent. So I'm saying, so they must be, okay, so he's Central American of some sort. But again, it goes back to my point. Well, he's number one on the call sheet. So of course he's gonna be in it. He's with Carly. But again, he's not that brown, folks. And he's one person. So now that's it. So we have the token on there. Again, where's everybody else? I feel like that's my point. It's like so you have one, but he's number one on the call sheet is one person. Where's the rest of them? Where's TJ? Where's these people they have storylines? Where are they? So I think that's kind of the point. So again, it wasn't even a big deal for me at first. I was just like, I didn't even get it. But now it's like, oh yeah. And they mentioned on Y&R, people were mentioning, I started noticing it too a little bit, all the Black characters supporting white storylines kind of right now. But yeah, they had Black storylines earlier. One of my favorite storylines was the Amanda storyline this year. That was one of my favorite storylines on Y&R. Misha Morgan, you could read a phone book, and I'm intrigued. But bringing on Imani, my girl Tosha Story, who played Naya. I love that. The guy who played a grandfather, I love that whole storyline. Well, now that's died down. We don't see them. It's all about Devon cooing and eyeing about over his white child over there with the chancellors. And yes, I come from mixed race family. I have mixed race children. And yes, we come in all shades. But the shade is that may be a little. I mean, yes, the baby's 1/4 Black. But it's a little. It was an opportunity. An opportunity could have shown to be a little darker. Things do skip generations sometimes. And I don't know, was it you, Kenneth? Somebody, either you or Donald Peoples Jr. Somebody was talking about the whole quadroon thing. Black folks know what that is, of course. But again, I have grandkids who are blonde hair, blue eyed, but they're Black. It does happen. But I thought this could be an opportunity to show, because Y&R has a large African American audience. So I thought it'd be a little chance. So there are a couple things I'll tell you a couple things I didn't really catch that the fans brought to my attention. And I thought, okay, now I see it. Okay. But again, I'm conditioned. I'm conditioned. Just go along with everybody else. I'm bringing it today. I know. I'm like, now the coffee's kicking in. It is Christmas time. I'm like, I don't give a shit. No. But I just want to say, because all my soap fans are on here right now. So I thought, let's talk about the soap stuff. Like, what the fuck? Because we tune in. We tune in day in, day out. We show up. I talk about it for a living. I love the daytime community. So let's just be more diverse. Days using their Black folks. They're totally using them. General Hospital has some Black storylines. All Marshall things going on there. Y&R, nope. And Bold, well, I know Bold is controversial and their Black folks. The angelization, and I'm not saying a word, of Paris, the character of Paris, which gets on my nerves. The mandingo-ness of Carter. And now, but the Carter thing, I'm sorry, folks, I liked Quarter. I love that whole storyline. I was into it. It's very much, I had no spoiler. I'm telling you what happened this year. Did you watch it this year? I'm talking about the things that happened this year. That happened earlier this year. Okay. Send me some, James. Well, kids, they cast photo. Sorry, themselves. Well, good. Let's see. Oh, let's see. In this cast photo, there is one Black person. That's Cindy Michaela. And I know Nicholas Chavez is Latino, but he looks white. He's white presenting, as we say. Marcus Coloma is white presenting. Yeah, that's it. That doesn't work either. That doesn't work either. I love Cindy Michaela. First of all, I love great actress on GH. Great find. Good job, Mark Teschner, my buddy. 10-time Emmy winner. But the whole Paris thing got on my nerves, and making her the magical Negro. I was like, we don't need that. We don't need that trope anymore either. She's not perfect. Like, come on, folks. Just put her in regular storylines. Let's work her out. Because she's fine. She's fine as an actress. She's beautiful. She can sing. I love all that. But that was a little weird for me. But I tell you, there's certain things that, when it comes to Black folks, Hispanic, Asian, we have Trask on days. We got Selena Wu, who is killing it on General Hospital. It's like, yeah, finally, they're really underrepresented. They don't have nobody on them soaps. Like, why not? They killed off the one Asian on days a while back during the whole time jump. Why had they kill her? Haley, or her name. I think her name was Haley or something. Why did they kill her? So I don't know. And people say it was just innocent. They just said it was a storyline dictated. I don't know about all of that. I think some things are just so ingrained that no one even thinks about it. And that's what happens. We gotta make this just normalized. I was watching Sex and the Cities, and just like that. No spoilers. I do the after show. You can hear it on JLJ, you can see it. Spoilers. But people are complaining because it's too woke. That's all I'll say. I don't want to give away unless if you're watching it. I said, basically, I don't mind it being so woke. Because to me, it's better than not being woke at all. I mean, maybe a little overkill here and there, but I'm like, I've seen diversity on that screen that I haven't seen ever on Sex and the City. So I'm like, I'll take it. Everything still kind of fits. It's New York City. New York City is diverse. And so they're actually showing how New York City is. So I will take the extra wokeness. I'll take it. For me, I'll take it. So anyway, we got to get all started. Okay, I gotta go. It's been over an hour. I usually don't do these shows that long, but the last couple of mornings have been wonderful. You guys have been so great. I may come on tomorrow morning. I'm not with my family tomorrow, so I'm with my family tonight. So tomorrow morning I may come on. If anybody wants to join me for a little Christmas cheer, we can do that. Maybe I'll put a present to you on camera. Who knows? But Merry Christmas Eve to all of you. Please, please, please be careful out there. That Opticon or variant is every. I have friends getting it. And it's just like, it's not fun. I'm hiding at home. But please, 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 please be careful out there as much as you can. Get the vaccine, get the booster. I'm pro-vaccination. Not everybody is, but I am. I'm pro-mask. I'm pro everything. But just take care of yourselves. And also at the same time, have your vitamin C. Do all your stuff. Drink your tea. Do all your stuff. At the same time, keep your health in order. Christmas Eve, everybody. Thanks for making today a fun day.